Hi everybody, welcome back. So this video is going to be on works affecting my training. I don't know how many times over the years that this has happened to me. In fact, probably every race I do I think, God, I just wish I had more hours. I wish I didn't have to work so much. But reality kicks in and I realise to myself that I do have to work, that it is part of my life, and my training usually does suffer slightly. But I'm going to explain in this video how I deal with it. Hopefully you can get something out of it, and hopefully it makes life a little bit easier in the long run. So look, the big thing that I do at the very start of any event that I book into, and that I have done pretty much over the last 10 or 15 years, that have helped me deal with not having enough hours, having to work, is I have a life priority list, let's call it, a Glenn's list of my priorities for life. One is pretty much family comes first. No questions asked. If work's starting to affect my family life, if it's taken away from my family life, if it's having a negative effect on my family life, I look at it and I come up with what I can do different. So my family will always come first. Second is followed very closely by work, and sometimes, if I'm being honest, them lines can get a little bit blurred because I want to be the best I can be at whatever I do. So sometimes I have to remind myself that, Glenn, family time, forget about work this week, forget about work today. If I'm off an hour, forget about it, focus on the family time. And quite often I find myself having to do that. That's the type of person I am. Then after work is obviously training, endurance events, which has pretty much been the biggest part of my life outside of work and family for the last nearly 15 years now. So it is important to me. It is something that I like doing. I like picking events that is going to push and challenge me. I like the feeling of growing. I like the feeling of being able to work out, fitting it all in, and, as I say, challenge myself. So work comes third on the priority list. And hey, look, in the recent years, the last year or so, this YouTube channel has slotted in there right alongside my training, and right alongside pushing myself to do these events, is helping other people achieve events and do these events is another priority in my life, because I know the enjoyment that I've got out of it the last 15 years, and being able to help other people and being able to pass that on becomes a very close third place with my own training. So having that list of priorities helps me in one way. Hi everybody, we interrupt this broadcast because I just want to take the chance to thank each and every one of my subscribers. 212 I think it was this week it went to, so absolutely blows my mind, guys. Thanks to everybody that's hit that button. It really does help the channel out. It really does help people find the content that they need to find. I've also had quite a few messages thanking me this week for the content, so it really does. That support means the world to me. The biggest thing you can do to support the channel is hit that subscribe button if you're not already. Hit the like button if you like the video, of course, if you like the video, and leave a comment, get involved, let others know how you actually manage your training. Back to work affecting my training, which sucks. It sucks. But here's a way not to let it. It means that, as I already touched on, the days that I find myself not being totally focused with my family, whenever I should be. I use that list: Glenn, priority, Liz, family time. And yes, I know we shouldn't have to do that, but let's be honest, a lot of us watching this video are probably type A people that are single-minded and like to push and like to get the most out of ourselves. So work is usually fairly important to us, but the same then comes with my training. So like last week, 2 weeks ago, where I started a new job, I knew I was going to be working longer hours, 14, 13 hours a day, 15 times, just to get up to speed with everything that's going. I knew that my training this last couple of weeks was going to have to take a back seat, and unfortunately it did. I probably only managed 3 or 4 runs a week this last 2 weeks, and anything up to 5, 6k a day. So it really did take a bit of a bash in my training this week. My fitness has certainly dwindled a little bit, I can feel it. But again, go back to my priority list. I look at my priority list and I know that that had to happen in order for me to grow and to develop into the role that I was taking on. So there's a few ways that we can help compensate this. Now, before we get on, your training priorities might be slightly different. Your family circumstances might be different. Your job circumstances might be different. So your training time might be ahead of a few things. It might look different to mine, but it's yours. Yeah, figure it out, work out your priorities, and that's going to help for whenever the time comes that your training is just going a little bit pear-shaped. You're not getting much on the program done. Maybe you're sitting thinking about doing an event. Use the priority list to set yourself up so that you can work out how many hours a week you're going to have and how much you think you need to do the training. If you're getting coached, be honest with your coach. Tell him that exactly this is how many hours it's going to be achievable, rather than missing training sessions or not being able to achieve things in that relationship breaking down. Be honest. Say, look, for the next week, for the next 3 weeks, for the next 6 weeks, this is what's going on in my life. I just need to work around that. And most times it can be worked around. Yes, you might have to adjust your expectation of your race, but you're much better training well with training time that you have as trying to train badly with training time that you just don't have. So hopefully that has made some sort of sense. A few ways that can help this, because this is not a video where Glenn is giving you permission to skip training sessions because you feel a little bit tired, or you're skipping training sessions because the family is you want to spend extra time with the family. If them things are happening and they're valid reasons, no issue at all. If it's a thing that you're just feeling tired, you're just looking at an excuse not to get the training done, which 99.9% of the people watching this video, that's never going to be the case, because you've obviously booked into a 200-mile or 100-mile race if you're watching these, and you're thinking, how can I get the best out of it? So this isn't a video to let you off the hook. Hard work, hard training, everything still needs to be done. Good planning will help. Plan your week, think ahead, think of what's going on in your life, think of what time you want to allocate to each priority, and then whenever you're going through the week, it's easier to say, look, this is what the priority was, something else is come up, this is now a higher priority, and that takes a back seat. So it gives you that kind of realisation, I suppose, that okay, this is happening in my life, this needs to take a back seat, and it leaves that you're not sitting beating yourself up about it. It's not a vicious loop of I just don't have the time to train, I just don't, not doing enough training, I'm just not going to be able to make this race. All them things going through your loop in your head, negative. It now becomes a case of okay, this was my priority in life. Yes, priority of training has had to suffer this week. Work is slightly better, I've achieved more at work, and I will get caught up on my training again. So use them priority list to justify your decisions, because you'll know in your head whether they're right or wrong. And I hope that helps, guys. I hope everybody's training is going well. I hope work isn't affecting it too much, but hey, chances are it might be. Find a way to make it work. Enjoy. I'm getting back to my run.